Today's class, what you will need is a block, one block, and just be close to a wall and that you have room on this wall. Okay? So we're just going to begin. It's in the morning. We're going to begin with some movement. So please, if you have music you want to put it on. And we're just going to start by just getting a bit of movement in the whole body. Okay? So whatever that means to you. If you want to dance, go ahead and dance. If you just want to shake and move around like I'm doing, go ahead and do that. But I just want you to just get some movement in. So I'm just swinging the arms from side to side. Oh, and while I'm doing this, I'm going to just try to center myself with my breath. Become aware of my movements and how my body feels. Okay, so you can do the same. Big breaths in through the nose and just let it out through the mouth. I'm going to raise my arms and give them a little shake. Bring them out to the side. Across. I'm going to swing the arms now, one in front of the other. Come to your breath. Now I'm just going to swing the arms up and back. And get the shoulders all loose. I'm going to give the hips a little shake now. A little shake of one leg. A little wiggle. Just give it a little shake. Give the other leg a little shake about my toe, just shaking. A bit of external, internal rotation going on, and then a little shake. So like I said, anything now, I'm just gonna swing the hips, one shoulder up, one shoulder down. Big breaths in. And anything else that you feel you need before coming into just a standing posture here. So let's ground now through our feet. So open your toes nice and wide. Look down and make sure your feet are straight. If your feet are uncomfortable straight and you need to have them turned out, go ahead, okay? So by trying to keep the feet nice and straight to at least see how that feels for you. If you feel like your knees are kind of caving in towards each other, even feeling like you're spreading the legs apart. So you don't have to be a straining, just get that feeling. Maybe, if you like it. If you don't, that's fine. And now, just making sure, I may have to close the window, I'm not sure if you can hear that, but making sure that you take the weight, because you like to stand like this, you know how I say, and take the weight of the pelvis and the belly back more towards the heels. Now, staying with your breath. I'm giving instructions sometimes. When you're listening, you tend to strain or hold somewhere. So just feeling all of this in your own body. And you can feel the weight on the three corners of your feet. So the heel and then under the big toe, a bit round by the little toe, and then the metatarsals, so the spongy bits. So that's where you're pressing kind of down. And when I say pressing down, it's just a light press. It's perhaps a little bend in your knee. Don't lock your knees out. And again, maybe that little bit of rotation, like pushing your feet wide without actually moving the feet. And tuck the chin to feel how long that makes your neck feel in the back. And we're just going to take the shoulders now and just roll them up towards the ears or move them up towards the ears. And then take the shoulder blades and squeeze them together lightly, or just bring them together, I should say. And then move the arms down your back. Okay, we'll just do that one more time. Shoulders up towards the ears, and then bring the shoulder blades together and move them down. No forcing here. And we'll just go in the other way. So the arms are relaxed down by your sides. You're going to bring the shoulder blades together, and then you're going to move the shoulder blades up, shoulders coming up towards your ears, and then widen the shoulder blades apart, and then come down. So again, we're down, bring the shoulder blades together, move the shoulder blades to your shoulders up towards your ears, and then widen the shoulder blades apart and come down. Great. And let's just take a moment to breathe and get into our breath or connect it to our breath. Relax the body and the jaw, the forehead. And try to find that place of ease with your breath. And now opening your eyes. And we're just going to begin by getting intimate with the shoulders. So I just want you to move the arm around freely. You can put one hand on the shoulder and just move the arm around. So just noticing how the shoulder moves in that shoulder socket, okay? So noticing that, and then even noticing what role the shoulder blade plays. So you bring your arm up, maybe you feel the shoulder blade moving, right, up. Move to the other side. So just, again, noticing maybe both arms feel a little different. Maybe you feel like you have more mobility in one arm than the other. So just moving it around in all directions. Sometimes our shoulder blades are really stuck, so you might get your arm so far and you're noticing like your shoulder blade may not be moving to help guide the arm up. It's okay, you're just noticing at this point. Okay, let's bring the arms now down by the sides, and we're just going to explore a movement a little bit more, but we're going to take the arms and coming up, okay? So we're bringing the arms up, noticing if your shoulders want to come up towards your ears. You're trying to keep the shoulders down away from your ears for now. And what we also don't want to happen, so I'm just coming up and down with the arms. You can breathe up, or breathe in, sorry, to come up. And exhale to come down. Bring the arms a little closer together. Palms are kind of facing towards each other. And I'm going to bring the arms up. And notice if your ribs want to help. Okay, so we have no rib thrusting in the class. So bringing the arms up. If you want to arch your back and thrust your ribs out, that might feel really good. But what I'm asking you to do right now is to keep the ribs down, because we're exploring the movement of the arms in the shoulder socket. I have somebody else coming in. Barbara. Good morning, Barbara. We've already started, but we started with a bit of movement, and now we're just moving the arms in the shoulder socket. So we're just coming up this way and then a little closer. And for people who've already started, even a little closer still. So shoulder width distance apart, and just notice how far. So this is my range of motion, the range that I have in my shoulders without giving my ribs to help and bring my arms all the way behind my head, okay? But that's not my arms doing that, that's my back. Okay. And I just want you to bring the arm now in front of you. Same thing, just noticing. Inhale, bring the arm up. Exhale, bring the arm down. Move to the other side. So just bringing the arm across the body. Again, you're just getting all the motion around the shoulder, okay? In the shoulder socket, nothing else is helping. Okay, one more time, breathe in and move the arm up and down. Take a breath. And now we're going to do a side stretch. So bringing the arm up, the right arm up, my palm is up towards the ceiling. And when I come over, I'm not thinking about the arm reaching. I'm just thinking about getting a stretch from the bottom of the rib cage here to the top of the hip. Be very gentle with yourself. Now my weight may want to come over to one side, but I'm going to keep the weight even in both feet. Big inhale, exhale. And one more, bring the arm up. And you can even have the arm behind your head if you want, if that feels better. Exhale. Inhale, come up. Exhale. I'm going to go to the other side. Inhale. I'm rotating the arm open. So external rotation in the shoulder. And I'm bringing the arm up, but really thinking about the stretch in the side body here. So you can even feel between the rib and the hip. Take a breath. And exhale. Come down. Now we're just doing some simple internal and external rotations in the shoulders, okay? So really trying to initiate the movement from the shoulder, from your arm bone in your shoulder socket. So just some internal and external movements. And you may want to think you're doing it by moving your arms like this, but no, you really want to think about the rotation coming right into the hips, the shoulder socket. And also you don't need to get as far as you possibly can. There's no straining here, okay? It's just a gentle mobilization in that shoulder socket. So I'm just doing one and then the other. Remembering to breathe. And now we're going to open the arms wide. Take a breath. Move the arms then down. Grab the fingers or lace the fingers and lock the fingers together. And then pulling the hands down towards the floor. Be gentle. Take a breath. And exhale, if you can, move the hands away from the body. Take a breath. Exhale, release. And one more time, inhale the arms up. And now exhale, bring the shoulder blades, you're pulling the shoulder blades together and bringing the arms all the way down, nice and slow. And now interlacing the fingers with the other pinky on the bottom. Same thing. Pressing the arms or shoulders away from you. Elbows come in. Take a breath and exhale. Bring the arms away from the body. Take a breath. And exhale. Release. Come back to your breath. Big belly breaths. Exhale, belly comes back in towards the spine. Another big inhale, belly expands. Ribs expand, letting the lungs fill there. And exhale. So come to the top of your mat, feet hip-width distance apart. Bringing our weight into the right foot and really pushing down into that foot, trying to prevent the hip from coming out to the side. And all we're going to do now is we're really grounded down through that right foot. The toes are still spread nice and wide. And we're just going to lift the knee, okay? Put your hands on your ASISs, your hip bones, and you're raising the leg, and then you're just going to step back, okay? Just step back. You're not trying to get back as far as you can. And when you step back, just notice what happens to your hip bones. Are they going out to the side? Plug that leg in. Bring the two, so plugging that leg in, bring that in. You'll notice that the other hip will come forward. So stay like this for a second. Take a breath. I'm in a very short stance here. I'm not all the way back, okay? Ooh. And now we're just going to come up and do that a couple times. So raise the knee, and you're trying not to raise the pelvis, so just raise the knee as far as it might come this far, it's okay. And now step back. So now if you notice that this hip is going all the way down, there is going to be some rotation of it down like that, but you don't want, you're trying to have less of that. So that may mean that you need to have a shorter stance, okay? So find what works in your body. We'll lift up and we're going to go down one more time. This time we'll stay there, okay? So pushing down through the right, lifting the left, and now I'm going to come in to a lunge that feels good for me, but I'm going to bend this back leg. So it's not a high lunge like this where the leg is straight. I want a nice bend in that back knee and see my front knee is over my ankle. So get situated. If you need to use a wall, do that, okay? So just getting comfortable here, taking a breath, noticing what's going on with the hip bones. And now I just want you to get this feeling like you're pushing this thigh up towards the ceiling. So it's not so much the foot is coming down like this. I'm still up on my toe, and I'm gonna really push this back thigh up towards the ceiling. And you should feel, or you may feel, the work in the hip here, and that you're getting a nice stretch here in the front of the leg, more so than if you went like this. You'll notice that there's way more going on. There's a crunch in my lower back here, compression in my lower back. So you really want to keep your torso and everything as it is. And we're just holding that, pushing that thigh up towards the ceiling. Take a breath. That's probably long enough for you guys. Inhale. And exhale, come up, okay? So I'm just getting, we're doing shoulders today, but just getting a little bit of work in the hips as well. So we're gonna do the other side. So weight to your left, wide toes, pressing down through that foot. I'm bringing this knee up. Hands on the hip bones here, and I'm just stepping back, noticing what's happening on this side. Is my thigh, and when you step back, you have to plug this front leg in so that your hips come forward. And just notice, is the right side now really, so is the pelvis going like this? Is the right side going down and keeping this side up? What I want is trying to keep the hips mostly level as you can. Don't matter, there's going to be a little bit of rotation. Come back up. Let's do it again. And then come back. You may want to try a different stance. Maybe you need to come closer. Maybe you need to come, maybe you want to try coming further away. It's just exploring now what's going on in the hips, okay? So taking a breath and pushing that feeling like you're pushing the thigh up towards the ceiling. Play around with that and come up. Shake it out. Take a breath. Come back to your breath. Notice what's happening in your body. Did you try to, were you tensing in the belly? Were you holding your breath? Were you clenching your teeth? One more. This is where we're going to stay now for a hold. Inhale. Come back. Find that nice stance for you. Plug the front leg in. A nice bend in the back knee, okay? Knee over ankle in the front leg. And now I'm going to push that back of the thigh up towards the ceiling and hold and breathe. Hold on to the wall if you need to. Letting the belly come out on the inhale, exhale, release. If you want, you can take the arms overhead, up to you for a nice stretch. And exhale, come down, push off the back leg. Sorry, come up and give that a little shake and a little wiggle. And we'll just do a couple hip circles, okay? So again, we're gonna put the weight into our left foot, really stand tall at the left, spread the toes, bring that leg up again, and now open. We're gonna just do little circles, okay? So I don't want you to be pushing beyond any boundary. I'm just lifting the knee, I'm opening the leg now, and then bringing the knee down towards the floor and closing. Okay, we'll just do two more on this side. Nice, gentle circles. Again, you can hold onto the wall, shake that out, press into the right foot, lift the left up, open, knee down towards the floor and close. Again, lay knee up, open towards the floor and close. One more, open, up, open, towards the floor, and around and down. Give that a little shake. So now we're gonna come to the wall and do more shoulder work. So I'm gonna get back onto you guys here. I want you to come out probably about a foot from the wall. I guess I'll go back on. About a foot from the wall. And your left hand just down by your side, and I want you to bring your right arm, and you may need to get closer than a foot, not sure, whatever's comfortable. You just don't want to be leaning back or in, just standing nice and straight. Put your arm out to the side here. And I just want you to bring the arm up, fingers on the wall. and then down. Again, we're just noticing here what's going on in the shoulder. When I bring my arm up, the shoulder blade is probably going to come and rotate around as well. Come down. Big breath in, come up. Exhale, come down. Just noticing how that feels. Noticing if there's any crunches or clicks or anything in that shoulder, and respect that, and just respect your boundaries here if you're feeling a lot of that. So we're just coming up, again, and down. And now taking the other arm, same thing, starting around shoulder width distance, don't really matter, bringing the arm up. Noticing now the arm comes up, and what is the shoulder blade doing? So I feel way more kind of stuck, I would say, on the left side. So just noticing the difference. Don't be bringing your weight forward. Always be bringing your weight back into your heels. And we're just exploring here how this feels. So no movement in the rest of the body. And the last one, big inhale, big exhale. Okay. The next version of that is that you're going to put the other arm, your forearm, onto the wall, okay? So forearm is onto, the left forearm is onto the wall here. And what I'm doing, my thumb is like pointing out, like I've got a thumbs up here. And I want you to now, same thing, get situated. Elbows around shoulder width distance. It could be a bit lower if that's not feeling good for you, don't really matter. And now I want you to get a sense that you're pushing in. So push in that forearm. Bring the arm out to the side again. Push in the forearm. Push, push, push. And now bringing the arm up. And just notice what a difference this has made, okay? So you're pushing the forearm in and raising the arm up. And we're just doing this a few times. Notice what's happening to your weight and your breath, okay? Try to be able to breathe. Don't push so hard so that you can't breathe, okay? Just pushing into the wall, maintaining that easy breath. Inhale up and exhale down. I'm not leaning in towards the wall, straight torso. And we'll just do one more. And exhale down. And now move over to the other side. Okay. Bring the arm don't need to be out. Bring it in line with the shoulder. Thumb pressing in to get your stance and your posture aligned. Pushing in, arm out, same motion. Notice how it feels. Stay with the breath. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, pressing with the other arm, exhale down. One more. Okay, maybe shake that out, just noticing how the shoulders feel. Take a big breath in, big breath out. A couple of breaths. And we're going into another version of that. So this time, arm down by the side again, right arm about a foot out from the wall or less. Again, we're going up and down. Oh no, this time we're going to take the hand like in front of the shoulder, okay, onto the wall. And all you're going to do is you're going to bring the arm up and down, up and down. Bring the arm up. And notice when you get to a certain point, your shoulder blade is going to help you, right? Bring the arm up. So just noticing that in your own body. Your mobility with the arm, okay, the shoulder, and now, yes, my shoulder blade is rotating with my arm just as it should. So and down. And this time, going back to the forearm press, pressing the forearm in to the wall. Align the elbow around with the shoulder, okay? Pressing in, same thing. Pressing in. You may have to move your feet closer, of course, to the wall. And press, and again, I'm going up and down. Up and down. Breathe. Don't lean into the wall, okay? You may have to move your feet closer, but don't lean into the wall. And exhale down, inhale up, and exhale down. Let's move to the other side. So again, right arm down by my side, shoulder, elbow around, lined up with the shoulder, and I'm just going up and down. And now notice no mobility on this arm compared to the other. Maybe it's a bit different. Mine is for sure. Up and down and up and down. Moving with your breath. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, arm down. I have way less mobility in my left side. Taking my forearm now to the wall, my right forearm. Elbow aligned with the shoulder about. And press, moving my feet closer to the wall, pressing in through the forearm, and now moving my arm up. Whoa! So it's a lot of work. Somebody watching this is like, oh, that looks easy, until you do it. So moving your arm up. Notice what's happening. My elbow wanted to jut out. I'm just noticing these things. I know I have some issues with my shoulders. So just observing, okay? Up and down. Do two more. Inhale up. And exhale down. And inhale up. And exhale down. So I'm just noticing my elbow wanted to come out to the side, okay? Just noticing it. Okay. And come back. Take a breath. And now notice how your shoulders feel. Give them a little swing perhaps. Just noticing if you feel like you have a little bit more space, a little bit more mobility in your shoulders perhaps. Okay. Okay, let's do a little bit more hip mobility before we come down to the floor. So I'm going to open my legs nice and wide. My feet are going to come wherever they go, comfortably go. And I'm just getting a little tick-tock with my, so like I have a little tail, I'm just getting a little tick-tock with my hips from side to side. And now I'm going to bend a little, probably put a little bit more bend in the knees, and just, I'm pushing my bum back, coming down a little further, and just wiggling again. And now I'm going to put a little bit more bend in my knees. I'm still pushing my bum back though, so I come side to side. And now maybe a little bit more of a bend. Maybe you're going to come up on your heels. Just stay, if you just are good with this, just choose what's good for you, okay? Don't force anything. It's not worth it. So I'm just coming down, coming up in the heel, pushing back. I'm not just coming out to the side like this. I'm pushing back, pushing. Bum going back, okay? Heel coming up. Whoa. Okay. Wiggle, wiggle, just moving up. And now we're going to come down to the floor onto our hands and knees. So let's pivot our toes, heels, and get something for underneath your knees. So I'm going to use this blanket for underneath my knees. Hands and knees. I hope you know the variations now for your wrists. If this is not good for you, forearms. Yeah, I think you guys know. I know who's here this class. So I'm just going to wiggle my hips. I always like just first getting a little bit of movement, whatever feels good when I come onto my hands and knees. So I'm just doing circles with my hips. I'm Going around to the right, making big circles, movement in my shoulders while I do it as well. And then I'm going to come around and go in the opposite direction in circles. Stay with your breath, big inhales. Exhale. So now tuck your toes, put the knees underneath your hips and the hands are underneath the shoulders or thereabouts, whatever is comfortable. I'm tucking my toes here and I don't want my legs to come out. So just notice how when you tuck your toes, what happens to your feet. You may tend to come out towards your pinkies. I just really want to bend in that big toe and put the weight over my big toe. Yeah, I think, just try to straighten your feet, but nothing that hurts, of course. And so what we're going to do now is we're just going to come back as though we're coming in child's pose, okay? So I'm just leaning back, getting the same movement in the arms as we kind of did just then on the wall, okay? So I'm coming up and coming down and coming up and coming back. Don't arch the back, okay? So keeping the body nice and long. The only movements here, well, in the hips and knees and ankles, of course, but just think about the shoulders. You're moving back through the shoulders, right? Because your shoulders are rotating here, you're pushing back. And this time you can untuck your toes and come back and just seeing how far you go, just being aware. Take a breath wherever it is that you are. And exhale, come up. And now this time, I want you to get this feeling of really strong and stable shoulders. And for people who've done this class with me before, you're aware of how I kind of get you to do that. So it's almost like an external rotation in your shoulders. So what I like to do is I like to get this wrapping feeling. So you'll know when you get it, because when you have these strong shoulders, you'll feel like you're kind of tense under the armpit, okay? So it's like this where I like to go and take my hands like this and then open them like that. And you should feel then that, oh, my shoulders are turned on. I know what she's talking about. Anyway, hopefully you get that. So if you want to just put your fingers like this and then open, like you're opening, fanning out, then you may feel the stability in your shoulders. That's what I want you to get. If you don't get it, you'll get it someday, so don't worry. So again, we're down here, but I want you to get that feeling now of wrapping the shoulders around. And now, with those stable shoulders, now move back. So I'm tucking my toes, knees underneath the hips, and okay. Notice the difference, okay? Notice what happens when all the musculature is turned on around the shoulders. Awesome, come up, take a breath. Keep that stable shoulders and come back. Oh, keep the chin nice and tough to keep the neck, feel like your neck is nice and long, okay, in the back. Oh, really noticing a difference here. I'm sure you do too. And then come up. Any movement that you feel like you want here, you can. We're going to come down again and just hold where we are, okay? So shoulders turned on. And I'm going to move back. Whew. I don't want to arch, keep the ribs in. And this is probably about it. Going beyond this for me right now would be way passing the boundary that I have. My body is telling me right now that is enough, especially on my left shoulder. My right, I may be able to go down further. Take a breath, exhale, and come on. Give it a wiggle. You can bring the knees together if you want. Bring the feet, the heels together, tuck the toes, walk your hands back, and come to sit on your feet. And just breathe. Okay, one more thing. We're going to come down on our hands and knees again. And this time, I want you to get those, what my teacher calls armpits of power. So get those stable shoulders going. And we're just going to bring the right arm up, okay? And bring it down again. So you can tuck the toes here for more stability. I got a nice stable shoulder here. Ribs are in, I'm not arching my back. And I'm just reaching out the arm here and coming in. And now I'm reaching it out. And if you want, you can even extend the opposite leg. My toes are down on the floor, you can stay here. Or you can lift the leg if you want, about the height of the pelvis. And then if you want to go a bit further, you don't have to. I'm bringing the knee in and the elbow in. I'm not arching anything. I'm trying to keep my body stable and pushing out through the heel, reaching out through the hand, and then bringing the knee in, swoosh. And that is it, swoosh. Exhale, swoosh, inhale, reach. Exhale, swoosh. Inhale, reach, and come down. If you want a little child's pose, or if you want to come and sit back on your feet or your knees, wherever you can come and get back to your breath, come back to your breath and rest. Okay? If you want to give your wrists a little love, go ahead and do that. We'll move to the other side. Hands and knees again. Get that shoulder wrapping going on. Nice, strong right shoulder this time. And nice and stable. Check in the back. Are you arching the lower back? Keep it in. Rib thrust. No rib thrust. Ribs flat into your body. Reach the left hand. Breathe. And notice when you're doing this, if you're clenching everywhere else, like I say, because we don't need to be clenching our jaw. So I'm just reaching the arm out and bringing it in, noticing how that feels. Noticing what happens to my weight in my hips. Do my weight go over to the right, trying to keep the weight even. Raising the arm. Now raising or coming up on the toes of the opposite right foot. And now you can bring the leg up. This might be enough for you to just come down this, okay? If you want to go a little bit further and you feel you have enough stability in the shoulder, you go ahead and do the swoosh. So I like to bring my leg up first, about pelvis height. Flex out the heel, swoosh. Inhale, exhale together. Inhale, reach, exhale. Take a break whenever you need it. Inhale, reach. Exhale, swoosh. Inhale, reach. Exhale, swoosh. One more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, swoosh. Okay. Child's pose. Come up on your knees. Take a breath. Inhale. Let the ribs expand. Don't inhale and raise, okay? Think of inhale, expansion, expansion. The ribs expand, the lungs expand, the belly expands, okay? And enjoy this breath now. Okay, we're going to come onto our backs now. So I'm going to take this pillow that's under, or this blanket that's under my knees, and I'm going to put it under my head. Fold it a little bit. And I'm going to grab my block, okay? Okay, so coming down onto your back, come as safely down onto your back. I like coming down onto my elbows, and then keep the knees bent. Find that comfortable spot for your knees. And I want you to now You're gonna put your shoulder blades flat in your back. So sometimes it just may mean that you wanna lift up and lower down again. And I want you to feel all the ribs, all your ribs on the floor. And then there should be a small natural arch in your lower back, okay? It's kind of what you want to maintain while you do these exercises. So take your block, and we're just gonna hold the block for now between the palms. And again, this is a shoulder class, right? So it's doing more shoulder work. And I'm not pressing into the block or anything. I'm just holding the block. And I'm just going to move the arms behind my head. And I don't want, and don't worry how far you get. You don't have to get to the floor. I'm going to move down a little tiny bit. But the key is that you're just noticing what's happening. So when you come up, you may notice that your ribs want to lift right off the floor and your lower back, you're arching. So if that's the case, don't go as far with your arms, okay? Only go as far as that you can maintain the ribs down onto the mat and a lower arch in your back. So I'm just coming down. So with me, I know that with my right arm, I could come down to the ceiling or to the floor. But I think with my left, I'm stuck right here. So there's stuff going on with my left shoulder. And come back. And now just take that block and put it between like your wrists and your forearms, okay? And again, we're just doing the same thing. I'm pressing gently, okay, but not super hard. And again, I'm coming back and forward. Just noticing where arms will go. Like I said, I'm feeling very constricted in my left shoulder. I have a bit of a kink going on in my neck and around my shoulder. And I can definitely feel it this morning doing this, but hopefully it helps it out. I'm not going to go beyond that boundary because I know that's just gonna hurt my shoulder and not help it. So I'm just gonna go as far and come up. And now we're gonna bring the block down more to the forearms. Okay, same thing. My palms are now facing towards one another. And gentle press in and just come behind. So when you come back behind your head, you don't want that feeling like you're just letting your arms go, okay? You are still moving, you still have that intention. It's like actually you're pulling up, okay? Like you're pushing up and then back, okay? And come down. So really getting some good mobility and stability around your shoulders in this class. Okay. So we're working all that musculature around the shoulder and the shoulder girdle. And come down. Okay. So this time, just take the block and you're going to bring it more like into your elbows. And so just bring it down a little bit. It's between my elbows, but my forearms as well. I don't know if I have my hands facing down, but no, your palms can be facing each other. Or your palms could even be facing down towards the floor. I'm trying it that way too, just noticing the different sensation. And noticing for me, and I'm just telling you this because you might be noticing something similar, is that for my left, when I get so far, it's like my elbow wants to stick out to the side. Okay, so it's neat because our body compensates for movements that we can't do anatomically how it's meant to do. So our body compensates and gets our arm over our head in other ways. It's great that our body does that. So that's why I say, like, it don't matter if you get here or here or here with your arms, right? It really does not. Everybody's going to be different. You can do mobility work for years on your shoulders, but depending on what is happening in your shoulder, maybe your arms will never come back like this, and really, who cares? So anyways, we could put the block aside and stay here now just for some breaths. Feel that grounding, or feeling like you're grounded into the floor, into the earth. Oh. So what I feel like doing right now, before we go into Shavasana, we have yet another 15 minutes left, but I'm gonna hold my shoulders. So I'm just crossing my arms and I'm holding my shoulders. I'm gonna give my shoulders a little massage. I'm going right up into the neck. Because a lot of times when we do this, our traps really wanna help us too. So I'm just gonna give my neck a massage first. I uncrossed my arms. I was gonna do something else, but I feel like, oh, this feels really nice to just give that whole neck a massage right down into the traps, moving down into the shoulders. And now I'm gonna cross my arms, and I just got my hands on each shoulder, and I'm just going to move from side to side. So I'm just gonna give my shoulders like a little massage from side to side. Now if you want, when you're over onto one side, reach that both arms out. So one hand is on top of the other and one knee is on top of the other, wherever is comfortable for you, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the top arm, my fingertips are on the floor, just like we did on the wall. We're gonna do these circles. But I'm gonna begin by, so put the fingertips, we're gonna make a circle. I'm gonna come over so far, the leg needs to come. So I'm just opening the leg, open. And now I was gonna bring my other leg with it, and I'm taking this back arm and just following the first arm. I don't have room here right now. Stretch the arms out, long, one palm is kind of on top of the other, and then you're going the other way. So you're gonna come back, you're gonna open up that top leg, it's gonna drag the other leg around with it, and this back arm now is coming along, following the right arm. Okay, and even here you could do a little reach if you want, reach and come back. I got one knee on top of the other. Try to keep them level, okay, not one knee out and one leg in. Two palms are on top of each other. Now I'm gonna reach with this palm so the shoulder blade is protracting and come back. Even like bring this arm across your chest and open up, and bring it back. And now we'll do another one of them circles. So we're circling around, we're opening up that leg, it's dragging the other leg with it. I have a bunch of stuff in my way, but you get it. And reach out. So you're on the other side now, and I'm just going to show you on this side. So you're on the other side, your left hand is on top, or your opposite hand is on top. Just pretend I'm back onto you and do the same thing. And again, I'm just going to reach out with that arm and come back in. And reach. And come back in. And now open up that arm. And we can come all the way over. I'm leaving my hips where they are. Just a nice stretch. Shoulder blades are coming kind of together. Oh, feels so good. Inhale. Exhale. Reach on the floor. And then again, we're going to open up. Let the leg open up. And come over to the side. And reach. And come back. And now we're just going to come back onto our backs. And we'll just do a figure four before we go into Shavasana, okay? So lifting this knee up, just like we kind of did in the rest of the class, right? Where we're doing the hip stuff. Lift the leg. And now I want you to externally rotate, okay? So just a couple times. So my knee, I'm just bringing my foot, pushing my knee out, the external rotation going on the hip here, okay? So just doing that a couple times before I actually put the ankle on top of the leg. And now I'm pressing out. I still have a little arch under my back, okay? I did not flatten my back. A lot of times when you put your leg up here, your back may want to automatically flatten out. If that's the case, move your leg out a little bit from your body, because we're going to try to get mobility in the hips. We don't want the back helping out, okay? So nice little arch under the back, ribs are down on the floor, your knee now is over, your foot is over your other leg. This may be enough stretch for you. This might be tons for you. If not, come up on the toe first. What we don't want happening is the back flattening. So you only want to come up as far as the back don't flatten. Oh, and then you're going to feel all the work. And then your leg is going to probably want to come over to the side and bring your weight back to the left. And I'm not going very far today. I'm going this far. You can have the leg up if you want. You can have the leg down. I feel very tight in the hamstrings, very tight in the psoas. And release, and we'll move over to the other side. So again, just lifting up the leg first and down and lifting. And now some external rotation here, external, maybe some internal, external, internal. Now external, place that ankle on the leg. I really don't want you to use your hands. That's why I say put your leg out if it doesn't reach. And stay here if you want. Come up on that toe. Notice if your weight wants to fall over to one side. Keep the weight even. Breathe. If you want, you can lift that leg now. Oh, but don't let the back flatten. Take some breaths. It's nice to have a strap here because it's kind of hard, right, to like hold your leg up here. But we're not going to be here very long. Just a nice, easy stretch. Some breaths. And then come down. Oh, now reach your legs out, and this is where you get to do whatever you feel like doing, whatever your body is asking from you. You do that, whatever that feels. And I'm just wiggling my legs, my feet back and forth, and that is what I feel like doing. So honestly, you can try this or just move any way before we get into Shavasana. So I'm just wiggling the legs, and now I'm bringing the toes up towards the ceiling, stretching the heels out towards the wall, and I'm just gonna rock myself up and back now. So up and forward, and letting everything loose. So let go of all the muscles now in around the face and the arms. Just give a gentle little rock, okay? So I'm just slowing the movement down now. And come to stillness. So just letting yourself relax into the floor. Letting all your muscles release, invite them, send them love, and ask them to relax. Create a little space in your teeth and remove the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Relax the space between your eyes, feeling your cheeks relax. And you want to make sure your shoulders are comfortably under you. Let the arms release. Let the muscles around the neck and the shoulders release. Relax. And notice sensation moving down your arms, into your wrists, palms of your hands, your fingers naturally curling towards the palm. And now imagine all that musculature around the shoulder blades, releasing, letting go. And let that feeling, that heavy, relaxed feeling, spread out from the shoulders into the arms, and also spreading out the whole surface of your back body or your back. Into the hips, into the pelvis, your pelvic floor, everything releasing and relaxing. Bring your attention around the buttocks and down into your big legs. Getting a sense of this heaviness. And release. Moving down the legs into the ankles, the feet, and the toes. And bring your focus to the breath. Just a natural breath. But on the exhale, you're just trying to release a little more. Perhaps creating space between the lips and relaxing your jaw. Sending some love and gratitude to the shoulders, to your shoulders. Gratitude for your body, moving in its capability. And staying here for as long as you want. And remember, there's nothing wrong with resting, no matter what time of the day.